Hey, Minister Robinson here. Mic Drop Monday. What are we talking about this week? Pack light and push forward. Packing light is very, very important. And I know it might not make sense, but if you stick around and let our featured speakers explain it to you, I think you'll come to a clear understanding of why in this life you must always pack light. And with that being said, I think we should get started. Nowish.
Unfiltered, unapologetic, unshakable. This is where authenticity meets courage and every voice matters. This is Mic Drop Mondays, where stories are told boldly and without hesitation. Real talk, real stories, real change. Conversations that spark transformation. No fluff, no filters, just truth, raw and honest. Every story dropped is a seed planted, growing into something powerful. Find your voice, hear others, be changed. Let your story be heard. Mic Drop Mondays, only on YouTube. Watch, reflect, repeat, join the movement. On YouTube at Church for the Chosen.
Hello, Mic Drop Monday family. Allure Unique back again to bring forth this motivation and inspiration, this real struggle, strength, motivation, and inspiration. And this week's topic is pack light. Pack light. It is time to let go of the pain that can't come with you. That's right, we're letting go of the pain that cannot go with us any further. So we gotta pack light. We gotta pack light, people. So let's get into this message. Y'all already know when I come, I keeping it real, raw, relevant, and redemptive. Redemptive, baby. Redemptive. Tonight's message is one of those soul-searching, heart-checking, burden-breaking truths. This one's for anybody who's been walking around with invisible suitcases full of trauma, betrayal, abandonment, guilt, and heartbreak. That's right. This is for you. This is for you because it is time to release. And you know the kind of pain I'm talking about. You know the kind of pain I'm talking about. Everybody's been there. That's one thing about it. Everybody's been there. I'm talking about the type of pain that doesn't just sting. It settles. The type that attaches itself to your identity. But tonight, it is time to let go. It is time to let go. And I want you to understand this first off. Understand that pain has weight. Pain has weight. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It shows up in how you talk to people. It shows up in how quickly you shut down when things feel too familiar. It shows up in your hesitation to trust, to dream, and to love again. See, many of us are trying to walk into new territory, new relationships, new opportunities, still carrying the bags from old betrayals. Dragging memories that God told us to surrender. Dragging voices that told us we'd never be enough. Dragging shame, disappointment, and what they did to us, like we needed to survive. But here's the hard truth. You can't enter healing without letting go. You can't enter healing while holding hands with what hurt you. So understand that pain is heavy and healing requires lightness. You got to pack light. The next thing I want you to understand is that familiar doesn't mean faithful. Familiar does not mean faithful. Sometimes we carry pain not because we want to, but because we've gotten used to it. Familiar doesn't mean faithful. Just because it's been with you a long time doesn't mean it's meant to stay. Pain will have you thinking it's protecting you when really it's preventing you. And I'm going to say that one more time. Pain will have you thinking it's protecting you when really it's preventing you. Preventing you from joy, from peace, and from destiny. Preventing you from moving forward rightfully and righteously. You can't soar when your soul is weighed down. And this is why we got to drop that anchor and dock with the Lord to understand that every struggle is truly our strength. Because once we are G'd up with Him, we gain the confidence that we need in order to proceed and succeed on yet in this battlefield of life. We gain living ecstasy, which is a state of wonderment and mental clarity. This is what real struggle strength is all about. And this is why you want to gain real struggle strength. Because again, you cannot soar when your soul is weighed down. The enemy knows if he can't stop your future, he'll try to weigh you down with your past. But the past doesn't belong in your carry-on when you're headed to a place called healed. Next, I want you to understand the luggage we carry. Yes, the luggage we carry. Let's talk about that luggage. Some of us are carrying unforgiveness. They hurt me and I'll never let it go. Guilt. I messed up too badly to be loved like that again. Shame. If they knew what I've been through, they'd never accept me. Bitterness. I gave them my heart and they broke it, so I'll never trust again. But here's what I know. That pain is too expensive to take into your next season. It's costing you peace. It's costing you rest. It's costing you clarity, and it's costing you. Pain loves to linger, but you don't have to keep extending it an invitation. Don't let your future become a hostage to what happened in your past. And this is why it's now a call to forgive. This is a call to forgive and move forward. A call to forgive and move forward. And let me say this with love. Forgiveness is for you. It's not a pardon for what they did. It's a permission slip for your soul to breathe again. And I'm going to say that one more time. It is not a pardon for what they did, but it is a permission slip for your soul to breathe again. God can't fill hands that are already full, especially when they're clinging to resentment. You've got to release it, not because it didn't matter, but because you do. Understand that forgiveness doesn't mean the pain never happened. It means you decided not to let that pain have the final say. You deserve freedom. You deserve healing. You deserve to walk into the next room without dragging your past through the door. So now, it's time to move differently. It is time to move differently. And when you pack light, you move different. You start showing up whole, not half present and broken. And I just want you to understand that that's what it takes. Change is abroad and change is necessary in order for you to be able to move different. And like I said, you start showing up whole and not half present and heartbroken. You start speaking from healed places instead of bleeding wounds. You don't overcompensate or shrink yourself anymore. When you let go, the people around you don't get a triggered version of you. They get the true you, the real you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's who you want to be. You do not want to be anyone else except for the real you. And that version of you, he or she is powerful. He or she is focused. He or she is not just surviving. You're soaring. The old you tolerated weight that the new you is no longer obligated to carry. And that's growth. And that's really God. And again, this is why we got to drop that and get dark with him every day. This is why we want to get G'd up with him. This is why we want to let him rest, rule, and abide in our life now and forevermore. So here's your Mic Drop Monday challenge. Open the bag, take inventory, and start removing what can't come with you. You're going higher, and that means you must go lighter. No more packing pain. No more tucking trauma under the rug. No more dragging baggage into your blessings. This week, tell the pain, you had a purpose, but you can't have a permanent place. Pack light, walk strong, love fully, and rise boldly. Y'all, this is real struggle strength. And baby, understand, your struggle starts when you let the way go. Y'all, again, this is Allure Unique with real struggle strength motivation. Y'all drop that and get done with the Lord. Get G'd up with him. And as you already know, you can follow me on all streaming platforms under Allure Unique or Real Struggle Strength Motivation, RSS Motivation rather. You can check out any of my music on all music streaming platforms under Allure Unique. Again, you can check out my books, which are my testimonial short tales of my real life, Real Struggle Strength Part 1 and Part 2. And you can also check out my e-learning courses. You can also check out my website, AllureUniqueStyles.com, which is originally getting ready to turn into RealStruggleStrength.com. But y'all, I just want y'all to understand that this motivation, this inspiration has changed my life. And truly it can change yours too. But you have to be willing to release. You have to be willing to give it all to God. You have to be willing. You have to want this really bad. It is time to release the weight. The dead weight at that. It's time to pack light. Y'all, Allure Unique. I love y'all.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Morgan. I'm an indie author, an indie publisher, and I'm so glad to be with you for this episode of Mic Drop Monday. Today's topic is going to be pack light, letting go of the pain that can't come with you. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I really want you to think about them. What are you still carrying with you that can't come with you? That's the question. What are you carrying that can't come? And I'm not asking just to be deep. I'm asking because this is a question that I ask myself over and over again. And let me tell you the truth. Some of the pain that we carry becomes so familiar that we confuse it for personality. We say, that's just how I am. No, love. That's how you became after life showed up, flipped your world, and told you to survive. But you don't have to keep carrying that weight. I know what it's like to wear pain like an armor. I know what it's like to wake up heavy even when you've done all the work. I know what it's like to be applauded for being strong when deep down you are like, I am tired. I don't want applause for being strong. I know that strength isn't strength sometimes. Sometimes strength is knowing when to let go. Letting go, that is where the real work begins. Because letting go doesn't always look graceful. Oh my goodness, letting go is messy. It's that ugly crying in your car. Messy. It's unfollowing someone who no longer serves you or triggers you. Let it go. It's leaving a text unread or unanswered. It's deleting numbers that you used to memorize. These numbers and these people no longer serve you. It's deciding, nah, this pain, it's not worth it. I'm done. It's letting go. So let's get into it. What are you carrying? That shame, that self-doubt, that voice that says you'll never be enough, that betrayal that you still play over and over and over in your head, that body talk that makes you hide or shrink in photos, that version of you who shrinks just to be loved or accepted. Some of it's not yours. Some of this was handed to you. And guess what? You can hand it all back, right? Let's go a little deeper. Ask yourself this: who hurt me? That I keep the hurt with me? What lie did I start believing about myself? You know what lie I started believing about myself? I used to believe that I wasn't good enough. And I'm telling you folks, it's a lie. What lie did you start believing about yourself? When was the last time that you truly felt safe? And do you feel guilty for wanting peace? Now, you don't have to rush into these answers. You don't. But when you do come up with the answers, sit with them. Because whatever comes up, that's your work. That is what's going to help you begin to release your pain. That is your sign. Now, let me share something personal. I killed an old friend once. Yep. Blunt force trauma. It was cold, it was calculated, and this friend absolutely had to go. This friend would whisper lies to me, tell me I wasn't worthy, telling me that I had to shrink to be loved, telling me I was only as valuable as the weight on the scale. And guess what? I listened to this friend for years. My friend was so loyal. My friend told me this stuff all the time. My friend showed up in my darkest moments. I finally had to tell my friend to be quiet. I finally had to stand up and tell my friend to sit down. So one day, I buried her. I buried that pain. I killed that friend. And when I say that friend, do you know what I'm talking about? For me, that friend was the scale. Yeah, that friend whispered and told lies to me. That friend told me to shrink. Every time I stepped on that scale, it chattered negative stuff to me. It made me feel small. And it wasn't until I actually got the courage to talk back. I had to release the pain because it didn't come with me. I had to release the smallness because guess what? I'm not small. I had to stop being apologetic for who I am. The ache to be accepted, the joy to be accepted. I wanted that. But in order for me to get those things, I had to release some stuff. I had to kill my friend. So how did I first start doing that? I had to write it down. I had to say it out loud. And so I started saying, I'm enough. I am enough. I burnt the list. I had the ugly cries. I did it. I wrote things down. I admitted things to myself that I never thought I would admit because I was ready to release the pain. I was ready to release the lies. So I did. I did all of these things. I didn't wait for a new year. I didn't wait for that therapist appointment. And I didn't wait for the perfect moment. I figured out that I don't have to be polished to be perfect. I just needed to show up, and I needed to show up for me. And that was my moment. I decided to pack light. I decided that I was not going to be the version of myself that was carrying around all this baggage that wasn't even mine. And so I tell you, start today. You don't have to know what the next 10 steps are. You don't have to know everything today. You just have to stop carrying what was never meant to be permanent. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You don't have to be healed to be healing. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to explain your growth to anyone who's never even watered you. Pack light, love. Your future needs room to stretch and grow. You are enough. You know, I can remember where I would give everything to my friends and there would be nothing left for me. One day, I put myself first and I thought that I would lose people, and I did, but you know what? I found all the right people, and so can you, but you have to believe in yourself. Pack light, love. Get rid of that excess baggage. Now, if this message hits you where you live, and if you're thinking, you know what, Kelly, you're right. I am going to stop accepting things that no longer serve me. I am actually going to put myself first. Well, then come along with me. I am an author of 2 books, Wait for It and You Sound Right. I started my own publishing company, and I don't play small anymore. I write about the real things, the messy middle, the parts that we were supposed to skip. I don't write about the before, and I don't write about the after. I write about the now. And I write about it because silence never saved me. Silence was never my friend. My books helped me find my voice. They helped me find my truth, and they helped me find my way back to me. And if this is you, if these words resonate with you, then, come along with me. Visit my website at brightheadedpublishing.com and download your free guide, So I Want to Write a Book. If you're thinking that you need to get those words out, if you want to reclaim yourself, writing a book, writing your story can be a great place to start. And who said that you have to write it for anybody but you? You know what? I built my own table because, I was tired of begging for a place at somebody else's. So what did I do? I started my own podcast called The Author's Mic. And it's real talk for indie authors. I invite creatives on there, and we share real stories and real information about the indie author journey. I also run the IRS, the Indie Reader Society. It is a bold new book club where we highlight and encourage indie authors to come and bring their books so that we can read them and help and promote and get your words out there. Like I said, I offer the free guide, so you want to write a book. It's on my website. You know why? Because I've been scammed, I've been delayed, and I've been doubted. But baby, I am telling you, I am still here. I am done shrinking, and I don't wait for permission to create my now. I don't wait for permission to create my reality. I do pack light, though. I don't take on other people's baggage. I only carry my own. And when my bags get heavy, baby, believe me, I do take a minute to stop and rest. So if you are ready to create without permission, I got you. Come along with me. If you're ready to maybe get that story out there, maybe it's going to be just for you. Maybe it will be for the world. It doesn't matter. follow me, get one of my books, go to my website, download the free guide. I don't care what you do, baby. Just stop carrying that baggage that does not belong to you. Travel light, love. I got you. I believe in you. I see you. I do. You know what? I love Mic Drop Mondays. I love being able to help others find that inspiration that took me a long time to find, but people like you are worth, really fighting for. So I'm here for you. I see you, I hear you, and if you think that nobody's listening, I am. So my name is Kelly. This is Mic Drop Mondays. And remember, pack light, love. Stop carrying the baggage that wasn't meant for you. You're done shrinking, and you're done asking for permission. Mic dropped. We'll catch you next time.
So these are the conversations that I actually like to have, pack light and move forward. Now, you can interpret that in many different ways, but just to make life simple, let's say you had a weekend trip to Vegas. You're like the exercise type. You like to run on your treadmill and lift weights and everything else. And you've got a weekend in Vegas. All expenses paid, okay? You got the plane ticket, you got a little money to go to the slot machines or the card table, and you're excited. You're very excited. But again, you're one of those people, you just love to work out. You like staying healthy, and I don't blame you for that. But let me ask you a question. What sense does it make to pack your dumbbells or your weights? What sense does it make to break down your treadmill and take it on the flight? You're probably going to spend a whole lot of money, and whoever gave you those tickets is probably going to say, oh no, I'm not paying for that. There's no way in the world I'm paying for that. Because you could have packed a little bit lighter. I'm quite sure there's a gym on the other side. There's probably a gym in the hotel that you're going to stay in. You didn't have to bring your weights. You didn't have to bring that treadmill. That's what we mean about packing light. Now, let's just bring it back to life in general. This life that we live has so many stressors. And what we tend to do is like we have this backpack, a mental backpack, and every time we come across a stressor, we pick it up and we throw it in the backpack. After a while, that backpack is going to get heavy. You're not going to be able to navigate through this life as quickly. There's this thing that I like to say, and I say it very often, there's controllables and there's uncontrollables. When you keep on packing in the uncontrollables into that backpack, your load just becomes heavier. Sometimes you have to learn to let go. Sometimes you have to, as I'm sure everybody else will say, let go and let God. Okay, if you run out there like you're some Navy SEAL and try to fix everything, you're not going to enjoy your life, and you're not going to actually get that much further in it. Because what you're doing is you're focusing on the uncontrollables. There are a lot of things in this life that are uncontrollable. Something you need paperwork done, it's in somebody else's hands. You have to wait for them to get it done. If you sit up there and anguish over the fact of what are they doing right now? I need my paperwork. How come they're taking so long? This, that, and the other. You're not going to move forward because you're focused on the uncontrollable. The things that are within your power to control, that's how you lighten your load. Because if you already understand that you can control it, you can go ahead, you can fix it, you can adjust it, you can do whatever is needed to make life just a little bit easier. Now, there's a part 2 to this, okay? And this falls under the thing that I'm working on right now with fractured bonds and no more chains, okay? I'll get to that at the end. We also have this really, really bad habit of adopting other people's problems. You want to slow yourself down? You want to make life just like an agonizing thing? Start picking up everybody else's problems. Start bringing everybody's problems into your life, and I guarantee you, you will just become an anxious, nervous wreck. Okay? I understand in relationships and family, sometimes even at work, sometimes we have to jump in and we have to be of assistance. Sometimes we have the capability to help another person. However, if by you helping another person is literally making you drown, then you have to let it go. You can always apologize and say there's really nothing. In fact, that's what I do a lot. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, and I don't say that to be mean. I don't say that to be cruel. I don't say that to just be selfish. I say that because I go back to the front of the range. Controllables, uncontrollables. A lot of people are walking around in this life with problems that they've been carrying around for the last decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, depending on their age. They're just carrying these problems around. And when they meet you, an empathetic soul, a person that wants to help, a person that wants to assist, okay, they feel it's all right just to dump it all in your lap. They really do. They have no problem with it because they say, hey, I can lighten my load if I make you responsible for the problems in my life. As always, adhering to the concept of being chosen, you should always give assistance whenever you can. However, if that assistance is going to cause you to literally drown, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You know, we're not responsible, whether you're chosen or not, you're not responsible for everybody else's problems. These are situations that they have created in their life. Like I said, if you can help, go ahead, be of assistance, be that person, be that guy. You know, there's nothing at all wrong with it. Okay, or girl, okay? Be that person. Go out there and help another person become the best version of themselves. But if they've been carrying around this baggage, past relationships, sour taste in their mouth from a job that they couldn't stand, all this, what can you do to fix that? That's something they need to fix within themselves. You can hide them, but that really is something that, you know, they need to figure out how to get sorted out within themselves. I would love to say that, hey, listen, those of us that believe that we're chosen, those of us that believe that we have a purpose, we should go out there, just going out there to save the world. Even when I wrote No More Chains, you've got to actually listen to the audiobook. You've got to basically figure out on your own. Okay, hey, listen, I'm in a bad situation right here. I'm in an unsafe space. I'm in a bad part of my life. There's like little workshop type things that you can do to make your life better, but it makes no sense to find out, hey, listen, I'm in this really, really dark place because of this relationship. You break off that relationship, you start a relationship with someone else, and it's like, hold on a second, I'm going to move right in. Just give me 1 second. I just got to get all of this luggage inside of your house. The person asks you, what is that luggage? Oh, that is all my past regrets. These are all the things that went wrong in my relationship. These are all the things that I'm still angry about. I'm just going to move in with this stuff. You can't do that. Not only are you weighing yourself down, you're weighing down that person that's trying to be there for you. See, that's why you have to pack light. That's why you have to get your mindset wrapped around healing. Okay, healing from all those past regrets, healing from all those bad situations, healing from all those jobs that you hated. You've got to start healing. And as you start to heal, you'll notice that you're moving through life just a little bit faster, with a little bit more focus, with a little bit more purpose. Do you know why? Because after you heal from all of these things that you may at that time felt may have broken you, what you're doing is you're lightening your load. You are literally lightening your load. So whereas you can only move like a block an hour, now you're like, oh wow, I just cleared 5 blocks in a half an hour. How did that happen? Because you lightened your load. You came to understand that all of this stuff isn't necessary. Back to the front of the ranch. It's almost like going to Vegas. By the time you get in front of the gate for your plane, they're going to look at you like you're a madman. Like, why do you have weights in your bag? You know you've got to pay extra for that. We don't care if you work out or not. We've got to make sure that we pack lightly on this plane so that we can move forward. So if you really feel the need to bring all of this stuff with you, we're going to have to empty some of that money out your bank account. You know, as I go through life, as I experience this life, and as you can see from the braids, I've been here for a little while. As I experience this life, I'm starting to understand that sometimes you really have to let go and let God, or the universe, or Allah, or adhere to Buddhist teachings, whatever you believe in. You know, you can't keep on letting the weight of others, but more importantly, the weight of yourself bring you down, slow you down. We only get one run around in this track. We want to stop and enjoy everything. However, if you're carrying all this extra weight, all this extra baggage, I know I messed that word up, but if you're carrying all of this extra baggage, how can you enjoy anything? We've got to start healing emotionally, spiritually, physically. It's the whole package. It's the whole enchilada. You've got to start healing now. You've got to address all the things that have been weighing you down throughout your existence. And I know it's a lot. It really is a lot. If you're over the age of 22, you've got a lot of stuff that you've got to sort through. And I get that because I was there once. And it took me years to understand the fact that, hey, listen, I've got to let some of this go. You know, jobs. Hey, I got to go find another job. You know, relationships. Hey, boo-boo, this was never my problem. This was always your problem. There's no way that you can force me to fix this. So that is the reason why fractured bonds exist. That is the reason why no more chains exist. Because not only have we been betrayed throughout this life, sometimes we betray ourselves. We betray ourselves by adding on baggage that we don't really need. You know, that's a whole different project. I actually want the motivation and inspiration to pour through Mic Drop Monday. So just follow the link in the details or wherever flashes across the screen. And that way you can get a taste, you can get a feel for what Fractured Bonds and No More Chains is really all about. You know, with that being said, I want to thank you for joining me once again for Mic Drop Monday. Minister Robinson, Church of Real Talk, Mic Drop Monday. The reason why I do this, and I think everybody here does this, love you guys.
I used to shrink to fit your lies, walked on eggshells, silence cries, gave you love, you gave me pain. Now I'm rising from the chains. All those nights I blame myself, tried to fix what you just broke, but your power fades away every time I speak my soul. No more chains, I'm breaking free, finding strength inside of me. All the scars you left behind, they just taught me how to shine. No more whispers in the dark, I reclaimed my beating heart. This is not your game to play. No more chains, not today. You wore charm like a disguise, but I saw truth behind your eyes. I gave and gave until I cracked, but baby now I'm taking me back. All your mind games, all the spin, kept me locked in silent sin. But I've learned the rules I see. I was never weak, just free. No more chains. I've stepped into my flame. No more chains, I'm breaking free.